The House, because work on the controversial anti-gay bill will proceed despite the president signaling that he will not sign such private members' bill into law. The president has refused to sign some already pre-existing private members' bill sponsored by the Medina MP Francis Xavier Sosu to abolish the death penalty and also prescribe accusation of witchcraft, arguing that to impose a charge on the Consolidated Fund will have some sort of consequences on the executive, hence his decision not to, of course, sign onto the bill. The president hinted in his letter to Parliament on the private members' bill, which imposes a charge on the Consolidated Fund, that, of course, the fund will be entertained by his office. I just want us to listen to the Speaker of Parliament reading the president's letter before the House today.
Upon a thorough review of the relevant constitutional and legislative frameworks, specifically Article 108 of the Constitution and Section 100 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, it is evident that the bills introduced as private members' bills by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Medina constituency, Francis Xavier Sosu, do not conform with the provisions of the Constitution. These bills, which abolish the statutory death penalty and criminalize the activities of witch doctors or witch finders, entail substantial financial obligations on the Consolidated Fund and other public funds of Ghana due to the projected costs related to imprisonment, sustenance, and health care for those who will be convicted under the bills when they become law. Therefore, in light of this significant fiscal impact, these bills should not have been introduced without prior fiscal impact analysis, nor without my initiation or on my behalf. The absence of such an analysis precludes these bills from being properly classified as private members' bills. The legislative power entrusted to Parliament comes with the responsibility to ensure that all enacted laws comply with the constitutional provisions safeguarding the nation's fiscal integrity and upholding the principles of governance. Mr. Speaker, it is for the above reasons that I, in preserving the sanctity of the legislative process, refused to assent to the bills.
Asante is our parliamentary correspondent, joining us now with the latest on this. And for many who do not understand why the Speaker is vehemently disagreeing with the position of the President, just help us understand why the President is first of all making this argument premised on a certain constitutional provision. What's that?
Of the Constitution says no bill will be introduced to Parliament if it's a private member's bill which has an impact on the Consolidated Fund in the opinion of the person presiding. That is what the Constitution says. But the President is interpreting this to mean that private members cannot, as in ordinary members of Parliament, cannot introduce bills to the House that has a charge on the Consolidated Fund, and that such bills must emanate from the executive, from the President, or on his behalf. And so these three bills, crucial ones that the President says he has no problem with, he actually agrees with their content, passed by Parliament in July, has not been signed by the President because he believes they sin against the Constitution. And today, he has offered such a detailed explanation as to why he had decided to do so. But the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, is ferociously opposed to this reasoning. He says the President is tragically wrong and that in the coming days, he's actually coming to put out a statement detailing his opposition. Let's listen to the Speaker right after he read this letter detailing his opposition to the President's view on the Constitution.
I definitely, totally, vehemently disagree with the positions taken by the President. Yes. The president has got it tragically wrong. Tragically wrong. And I will submit in the form of a statement under Article 53 my position in this matter, and allow members of the House to make comments so that we can take a clear position in this matter. And I will do so during the course of this week. The president has not been properly advised, and the president has not been properly informed of the processes these bills have gone through. So I will submit a detailed write-up on it for members to make their comments. But I'm very clear that this message and the contents are irregular, wrongful, and unconstitutional.
Beyond that, there's also a challenge ahead, because we know that a lot of private member bills are before the House, including the controversial anti-LGBT bill.
Yes, the anti-gay bill also imposes the charge on the consolidated fund, literally, because it imposes custodial.
We seem to have a challenge connecting there to Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Akufo-Addo Asante, who's been on the bit for us, but the minority leader in Parliament is also raising some challenges about this. Let's listen to his position.
I mean, to make any statement. You don't even know what I'm going to say.
Majority leader, you are not the first timer in this House.
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not the first speaker.
Yes.
Please resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker,
Votes and proceedings of Saturday, 16th December 2023, page 1.
What is this preemptive strike?
Page 2.
The Speaker, the Majority Leader. What is this?
Page 3.
What is this that you are seeing in Ghana's Parliament?
Page 4.
What is this?
Page 5.
That's what unfolded between the majority leader and, of course, the Speaker of the House, giving the position that the Speaker has on the President's response on the, renunciation or perhaps the revocation of the death penalty bill, and also matters relating to the witchcraft accusation bill, all being sponsored by private members of the House. The Speaker will then issue his position on the matter going forward. But the Speaker also had this to say.
The bills that have been passed by Parliament, that is, those ones seeking to commute death sentences to life imprisonment, amounts to taking people who otherwise would have been summarily executed and then imprisoning them for life. There are monetary considerations. If you want to imprison somebody, he goes to a prison, he has to be fed, he has to be taken care of. If the person is sick, the state will have to take care of that person. And we are going to have to take money from the consolidated fund to do that. So the president was only saying to us that what we have done. In his considered opinion, he thinks that it infringes Article 108A, Roman number 2, and Roman number 3. This is all that the president has said to us. The Speaker says he disagrees with the president's opinion. That is legitimate. If the Speaker disagrees with him, it's legitimate. And he could have ended at that I disagree with the opinion given by the Speaker, by the President. And maybe I also come with my own understanding of the law. That is it. But you all saw and heard the rather visceral language of the Speaker. I thought it was most unfortunate. I thought it was most unfortunate for a speaker, and I get up to be identified. I was just going to say that, well, I thought the communication is to the entire House. Well, the bill was passed by the House, not the Speaker.